What's up, YouTube? Yes, I am now trying to finish up this Q&As. Sorry it took a while. Um, excuse me, real quick. Yeah, like I said, sorry it took a while, but I just been busy with a lot of things lately, and so I'm about to finish. I think the last question I left off on, if I'm not mistaken, was Isaac Cervantes. He asked. I just finished asking his first question: favorite album of all time, any genre. Now he asked me favorite track of all time, any genre. Whew, it's a broad ass question. Damn. If I have to say a favorite track of any genre, I would have to say a lot, a lot of songs. I can't just name one. For hip hop, damn. Hip hop song. Hmm. I think one hip hop song that's my favorite that comes like the first instant favorite hip hop song I can just say out of my head is some Pete Rock and CL Smooth. They reminisce over you. Um, it's a classic hip hop song. It's kind of like a sad song, but at the same time, it's like a feel good song at the same time. I think I remember back listening to that when I was back in middle school when I was just getting into hip hop. I used to listen to that song repeat, repeat, repeat. Very classic song right there. Another one of my favorite hip hop song. I think it's probably my favorite hip hop song is um my mom thought about that. It's Tupac Changes. This song was actually released after Tupac died though, and I love the lyrics on that song. The lyrics really do speak out to me. Basically, probably my favorite Tupac song of all time and shit like that. All right, for R&B and soul, Donny Hathaway, Someday We'll All Be Free. Rest in peace to Donny Hathaway. He is like probably one of the most visionaries of soul music of all time. And let me put it to you this way: if there was no Donny Hathaway, there'll be no neo soul. I'm just gonna put that right out in there. And so another one of my favorite R&B songs. Now this one, it might cause some. I might get some raised eyebrows, but I have to say Luther Vandross's "A House Is Not a Home." Another classic song. I mean, anything Luther Vandross does, man, definitely it's definitely very good material though. For rock, I would have to say a cross between um for rock it had to be a cross either between Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody or Led Zeppelin The Rain Song. I mean, and these are like two of my favorite rock groups of all time, and it's just in my opinion, those two very iconic songs. I know a lot of people say "Stairway to Heaven." A lot of people say I know a lot of people say "Stairway to Heaven" or "A Whole Lot of Love" for Led Zeppelin. But like when it comes to them, my favorite song from them is the Rain song. Just love that song. It's so peaceful, so soothing, everything about it. And that's all I can really. That's all I can really think of at the moment, though. You know what I'm saying? So, and the last question you asked me, preferred medium to listen to music. Um, CD, digital, vinyl. Definitely vinyl. I mean, I just started getting into vinyl this year, and it was just like something I really wanted to listen. I always want to have vinyl records since I was little kid though. I mean, I love listening to CDs, but sometimes when it comes to CDs, sometimes they make the sound so digitalized. Like it gets to a point where like either you can listen to it or you can't listen to it. Prime example. Prime example. Let me see. Uh, I don't have one of the CDs on me right now, but sometimes when especially when they master CD for master an album for like a CD, sometimes it get very digitalized that it just gets very unlistenable sometimes. And I think a prime example is like the Doors. I think the Doors, the remastered, like some of the remastered editions of this albums, a lot of people kind of criticize those remastered editions because it was like way kind of like digitalized and the mixing was just horrible. So that's why like it took me a while to kind of get some Doors albums though. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, yeah, I prefer vinyl. Dope, dope questions. Isaac Saventa, shout out to you. Next question. I got two more users to do. It's Bob Bob. He asked me three questions. Favorite CD for hip hop. Favorite hip hop duo old and new. Why I decided to start this channel. Okay. Favorite city for hip hop. That's a good question. It would have to be a cross between. It would have to be a cross either between like Queens and Compton. Queens, Compton, and Chicago. Let me put that. I'm gonna get into like for Queens, man. A lot of legendary MCs came from like Queens, like Nas, Mobb Deep, shit like that, and like especially I love Queensbridge like hip hop back in like the '90s, cause it was like everybody was so unified together. Like it's like around that time, like all Queensbridge rappers were unified together and stuff. Like I love that era when it comes to Queensbridge hip hop. Compton. I mean, you guys should know about Compton, like NWA, Compton's Most Wanted, DJ Quick, shit like that. Definitely set the trailblazer for hip hop in, like, especially for the West Coast. Like Compton, like pretty much like I know a lot of people will say like NWA, 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 but I like to listen to like a lot of Compton hip, like Compton Most Wanted. In my opinion, I'm gonna cause some flack when I say it, but they are the best group from the West Coast. Probably my favorite group from the West Coast. Like you cannot go wrong with albums like Straight Checking Them, Music to Drive By, and then you have MC8's solo work like his We Come Strapped, Death Death Threats. Like Compton very much put West Coast like on the map and shit like that. Like if it wasn't for like Compton like NWA, then like a lot of this gangster rap would not come through. And I'm not saying NWA created gangster rap. I'm definitely not saying that. But you guys know what I'm talking about. And Chicago, like Chi-Town, definitely cats like Common and like a lot of my like Common and stuff like that, and Kanye and shit. Like very, very. I love Chicago's like rappers from Chicago and shit. And if I'm and then this might be an honorable mention, but I might say like even Philadelphia too, because you have cats. Philadelphia and Brooklyn. Like for Philadelphia, you have like the Roots, Eve, Bahamadia. I believe she's from Philly. I believe she's from Philly. I mean, and then you have like DJ Jazz Jeff and Fresh Prince, a duo I need to get some albums from and shit like that. And then like for Brooklyn, you have um like Jay Z, Biggie. I believe Diggle Planets were from Brooklyn. I believe they're from Brooklyn. If They're not. Then I could be wrong or not. Yeah, Brooklyn definitely. Brooklyn and Queens definitely my favorite cities when it comes to East Coast hip hop. What they say? Favorite hip hop duo, old and new. That's I can answer that question after that. For old, I would have to say like um I would have to say Gangstar and Outkast. Two of the most consistent duos in hip hop history. You know, Gangstar, like their sound was very jazzy and it's very jazzy, it's cool. But at the same time it can be hardcore at the same time. Most notably like Hard to Earn and stuff like that. And then you have Outkast. Like Outkast just they just broke every stereotype from the South, you know. Like they weren't the regular from South you would hear like Two Live Crew or Crisscross. Like because Crisscross were from out Atlanta. A lot and before Outkast, that was like the only thing popping in Atlanta was Crisscross. And so they came out with like a more different sound like hip hop in general. And they're like one of the few groups who were like almost Gangstar and Outkast, one of the few hip hop groups like, I can really think of that almost every album from them is either a classic or a very good album. And for new, I would have to say Run the Jewels, Killer Mike and LP. Because they've been Killer Mike and LP are doing their thing right now. Like they're just killing the whole independent underground game. Very, very out there lyrics, very amazing production coming from LP and shit like that. You know, definitely. And the last question you asked me is why you decided to start this channel. Because I decided to start this channel for a couple of reasons. One is like to touch on like hip hop albums that never really get mentioned on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like you have albums like that's where like for my first video, I decided to do a review on Organized Confusion's Stress, the Extinction Agenda, which is a hip hop album that is arguably one of the most underrated albums ever come out in 1994. And 1994 was a very, 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 very good year for hip hop. And because you know, Illmatic, um, Tikal, Ready to Die, Blowout Comb, hell, The Murder Was the Case soundtrack. Very, very good albums. And like Stress the Extinction Agenda definitely is in my top five from that year too. What else about 90s? Yeah, so I want to touch on like underrated albums, not just for hip hop but R&B too, because not a lot of people review R&B records and stuff like that. And so another reason is to touch on topics not like musically, not always touch on music related topics. You know, that's why I do the spit knowledge videos. And I need to get back on doing the spit knowledge videos and stuff like that. And also just to promote my music and what I like to listen to, promote how I make my sound and stuff like that. But yeah, and so those dope questions, Bob Bob. And last question is from my nigga Rap Fan 2015. Before I start, appreciate the shout out you gave me on your Q&A video. Thanks for answering my questions. Um, very, very talented producer. His beats are incredible. Excuse me. Yeah, his beats are incredible. His knowledge for music is his knowledge for music is incredible too. Yeah, very, very humble dude. Very good friend of mine too. He asked me three questions. What made you get into music? What genres of music are you not into? How was college life? What made me get into music was just me listening to music every single day, copying CDs, um, always, just downloading songs on my iPod and writing songs in general. Made me get into music, like and being influenced by cats like cats that like my parents used to listen to, and just like expressing my views of music too. What genres of music you want into? Bluegrass, definitely, definitely bluegrass. Um, Not the biggest country fan, although I do listen to Johnny Cash. I listen to Glenn Campbell sometimes though. Yeah, not really the biggest country fan. Dubstep, not the biggest. I can't stand dubstep, like really. Um, EDM music, not really a big fan of that either. What else? How was college life? Hey man, college is what it is though. I mean, college is just college life is college. I mean, you do your work and all that. At the same time, I try to keep my head focused in schoolwork, not get caught up in this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and so that's all. That's all the time I have. That's all the questions. Thank you guys so much for sending these questions, and I'm sorry it's been almost a month since I got back to this Q&A, but stay tuned for more stuff. I might come up with a review sooner than you'll think. So peace.